starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, cool. We'll be reading the chapter 7 summary. This chapter explains how to design tables properly, including naming keys and rules, so your data stays organized and accurate. Now I'll be handing it over to Letabo to do exercise 1.
Okay, so here we have to create a table which will consist primary keys, foreign keys, and additional constraints. And we'll be starting with the albums table. Once you add that, basically here what we have is that we have an album art, so it will be our big serial, our catalog code. So basically it will be unique. So yeah, so our unique key, our title, artist name, release date. So as long as we have not now, so basically those keys should be unique. And we have our release date, we have our genre, our album description, so the details, then our constraints. So yeah, album ID is a surrogate primary key, so it will be automatic increments. Then our album catalog code is unique because the album will have one code. Then our title and artist, basically we should not be leaving that empty. Then going to our table with so that's called songs. Okay. So gotta create the album. Okay, once you create that, it should show that the album is now created. The album table is now created. Now it's created. Then we go to create table for songs. So same thing. So basically our song ID is the primary key. So song ID is big serial. So yeah, it's our primary key. Our album ID using references album ID. So basically what we're doing is connecting the two tables via the album ID. So this song will belong to this album. So once we comment that out and execute the query, it should be creating the table. So now moving to exercise 2.
All right, on to me. Right, I'm going to take over from here. Okay, right, so yeah, it's just chapter 2. Okay, right, so I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay, right. So what you got here is natural key candidates in the albums table. Looking at the columns, album catalog code is the strongest candidate for natural key. It's already marked unique and not null in the table definition. So this is album catalog code. So this is going to be the variable character. It's going to be the unique key. So this is going to be the natural key, like how we have in database, which means it was designed to be unique per album. Record labels assign catalog codes to identify releases, so it has real world meaning baked in. So album title alone won't work. The same album title can't not appear across different artists, editions, or releases. So obviously, instead of using album ID as a surrogate key for your primary key, are there any columns in albums that could be useful as a natural key? What would you have to know to decide? So obviously, that's what the question is asking. So it will be your album catalog code. It's because it's unique and not null in the table definition, meaning it was designed to be unique per album. So it's truly unique across all albums. Right, so that's the question. So catalog codes are unique within a single label's catalog, but two different record labels could theoretically issue the same code. If you if the database covers multiple labels, that's a problem. So natural keys are risky if the real world value can be updated. A surrogate key like album ID never needs to change, but a catalog code could be reissued or corrected. So the column is not null, so you need the catalog code before inserting any row. And does on delete cascade still make sense? So the songs table references albums via album ID. So album catalog code is the most viable natural key, but album ID as a surrogate remains safer, more flexible code unless you can guarantee the catalog code is globally unique, stable, and always available. So yeah, instead of using album ID as a surrogate key for your primary key, are there any albums in there? So that's pretty much the question, man. So album ID code would be the best surrogate, and I'll show you here now. So album catalog code, as you can see here, not now. Album title, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much what we have here, not now. So this is gonna be the best natural key because it's truly unique. Whereas others like genre, release date, artist, title, and ID, they got they're not so unique at all. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. So it's gonna be album catalog code as a natural key. For question two.
Cool. That for question three. Um, it's just to speed up queries. Which columns are good candidates for indexes? So if we go over here, it's got good index candidates, albums and songs, and search by titles. And they create index album title.idx, and then they've got create index album artist idx, and create index song title idx, and create index song album ID idx. That's on for that. Index speeds up queries on columns used in where and join clauses. The primary keys already have indexes automatically. So yeah, that is it for chapter 7. Thank you. Cool.
Nice.
Nice. At least we've done a big chunk of the videos today.